Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good morning. This is Sri here to do a quick recap of week number 2 of the NFL. Before we actually get into the games, I just wanted to briefly touch upon an article in the Wall Street Journal about Tua, who was playing the Thursday night game last week, and he suffered another concussion, and this was, I believe, the third in his career. He did have two high-profile concussions in the 2022 season, but this one was something which was unexpected. But there's been a lot of talk and a lot of talk from various outlets about when he should come back to play. And but the bigger question that everyone should be asking is not about when he should be playing, but if he should even come back and play in the NFL. I do want to admire the coach of the Dolphins, who was um, very clear and crisp. And I think he said something to the point of, when you talk about somebody's career, it's probably fair their career is decided by them. I do think that's a good way to put it. But they won't push him, obviously, the Dolphins. And even Mike McDaniel came out and pretty much begged the public not to rush the process. So it is a this sport is one of the violent sports, as we all know. And this is something that players will need to think about, especially, and I think Manti Te'o, who was actually one of the players, Notre Dame players who grew up with Tua, did say that, hey, I want him to be able to play not today, but 10, 15 years from now, to be able to raise his kids and be able to walk his daughter down the aisle. So that's where I wanted to start off with, not getting into the games aspect of things. But instead of going through each and every game, very briefly touch upon some of the critical games that happen. The Vikings are a surprise of the NFL. They're right now 2-0, but they may have to do without Justin Jefferson for a while. They beat the 49ers at home. Sam Darnold is 2-0. The 49ers decimated by injuries. They did lose. They already have lost Christian McCaffrey. Now they do lose Deebo Samuel for 2 4 weeks. Um, in the other team that has impressed me so far is the Chargers, who beat upon the lowly Panthers, who now bench their quarterback, and Andy Dalton will be taking the helm at the Panthers. The other big game was the Saints. The Saints are right now red hot. They've destroyed the Cowboys on the road, and in the two games that they played so far, they've scored 91 points. They did score 47 points in the first game against Carolina. They did score um, a big 44 points against the Cowboys in their home opener. Um, and then the Jaguars in a little bit of a tailspin. They are right now 0-2. The Buccaneers are surprisingly 2-0. They did avenge their loss that they had in the last year's NFC game against the Lions. Came up with a big victory on the road. The other team that really need to look in the rearview mirror, two teams, actually two AFC teams, both in the AFC North, are the Ravens and the Bengals. The Ravens lost to the Raiders at home in their home opener. Um, the Raiders, Minshew came up with a big win. Devontae Adams was huge in that game. And the Bengals and the Chiefs, again, every match game between them has come to the last 3 to 4 points. The Chiefs did benefit from a couple of calls earlier in the game. And also there was a 4th and 16 pass interference, which was, on second thoughts, did look like a legit call, but with the 4th and 16, trying to rush with three players and then dropping everybody, they should have been able to come up with a play there. And Right now, Cincinnati again has started 0-2. I believe in the last 3 or 4 years they have started that. The Steelers are surprising 2-0. They right now went on the road to Denver and won that game in a very hard fought defensive game. The Steelers have been one of the big picks in terms of defense. They have definitely stepped up. Um, Having a decent quarterback at the helm would be easier for them to continue chipping away these wins. Um, the other ones in the Monday night yesterday, Falcons beat the Eagles. So the NFC East is wide open. I mean, it's still early in the season. And then the Jets also came up with a victory um, against the Tennessee Titans. And then, as far as my New England Patriots are concerned, they had a lot of chances to beat the Seahawks, but a missed field goal opened the door for Seattle. Game into overtime, and Geno Smith had one of the best games he has ever had as the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Um, and without having Kenneth Walker as a running back, they were able to outgain the Patriots in terms of yardage. And it did come down to Patriots not executing an offense with their quarterback not able to really throw the ball down the field. Great running game as last week, but that's where we are. And talking about the Patriots, they do play. They head to the Jets with a injuries on the offensive line, losing Jawan Bentley, the leader in the defense, against the Jets team, which got the win on the road against Tennessee, but now are ready for their home opener. So with that, we wrap up the week 2 of the NFL and look forward to the Thursday night matchup. And we'll get down to the week 2 previews, week 3 previews this week. Thanks again for listening. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.